business was really badly run. Was people are we got about 25 staff. The morale is low because it's also the mining downturn as well.
Right.
So we also lose a lot of clients here. And I remember sitting down. I was like, okay, what are we gonna do with this? So I was looking at all my books, and I spent a few nights by myself, and I look at it. What can I do? I'm at a wall. I'm at the lowest point.
Yeah.
Anything lower than lower, anything the lowest will be up. So we need to look at it, and that's why I start to use all my learnings from a lot of the speakers that what will you do.
Mm-hmm.
So and came across a book. I came across a few of Jim Collins' book came through. So all right, well, I need to clean the house. I need to get the foundation right. The failure of this business is because the foundation wasn't strong before we go and have branches all over the place. And the foundation not only haven't strong, the people is not strong, and we are killing a golden goose here.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a lot of businesses does that. Because you're funding something that's not making money.
Yeah.
You're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
And at the time, of course, I got access to a lot of entrepreneurs around the world, and I give them a call and say, hey guys, I'm with this problem. What do you guys do? How do you guys get around it? So a lot of advice came through, and we were literally down to 3 months worth of wages we can afford, and that's it. All right.
And you were still calm.
Oh, still calm the sun, yeah. But I know, because of the entrepreneurial organization, I know who I can call help.
So you've got a resource that you can tap into. So you're not. So although you said you sat down and thought it through yourself, actually you weren't on your own because you knew you had all of these different. And even when you were going on to Melbourne, you actually knew somebody in your network. So you kind of were linked tangentially to all these people.
Correct. Yeah. Because
but they weren't necessarily in there with it. But you knew you could connect with
because
them.
when the bank taught me is that, Ando, you need to have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when I go to a branch, the bank only tell me, Ando, you got 14 days to finish this job. This is the ticket home. Okay? You can either go home early, but not past this date.
Yeah.
So in my mind, it's always built to, okay, what's the plan B, plan C, plan D, plan D? If this thing happens, plan A doesn't work, what's the plan B? So because even when I troubleshoot problem, I already have 3 or 4 solutions before I walk up there. I know what I need to do. So having that in mind, being trained that way, I kind of had a lot of plans involved that, if this thing doesn't work. And also the entrepreneur organization allows me to access a lot of these people through networks and things like that. And the beauty of entrepreneur organization is that you can only share with someone unless you have been there, done that. Yeah. Someone cannot give you advice. They must have been through the journey as you've been. So it's very safe. Yeah. So when you hear someone say, oh, this is what I've done, good. Now, this is what you should do. Yeah. So that's why I always take advice. Have you done it? Yeah. Okay. I'll take your advice. Yeah. If not, no. So that was very good. But I know that we're down to 3 months worth of cash left, and we're going to go under. But however, when I look at the entire business, I see a part of the business where if we trim all the stuff, cut back to a certain level of stuff, we will maintain our revenue because we still got revenue coming in. Yeah. But just our cost, our wages and expenses control.
Yeah, it's kind of managing that balance, isn't it? What's coming in versus what's going out.
Yeah, so there's a lot of that. And I remember spoken to a friend in the US. He said, look, he told me, cut and cut deep. So, okay, cut and cut deep. All right, let's cut really deep. So I went through the whole journey with that, cut down from 25 staff down to 8. And it was a difficult journey because the client was like, oh, no, our service level drops a little bit. Now we still need to redo it. Then I cut deep and I said, hey, what's next? Then he sent me a photo of a construction site, which means that build your foundation. I said, okay, I know what he's trying to say. Because we learned from Jim Collins, we learned from a lot of people, build our foundation. So I cleared the office, started to look at my people. And I remember telling everybody here, whoever's left, and I said, look, I'm going to reset this business. I said, there's a reset button. I reset, everything goes back to zero. I want you to tell me why I shouldn't fire you. I did most of them. Why should I fire you? Why should I keep you? Re-interview. So everybody tell me their value proposition. I said, cool. And I also honestly telling them we are running out of money. Yeah. This is what we have.
So you were very transparent with
them. Very transparent with them. It's very, very important. I'm transparent. I said, look, however, I can see us, if we maintain all the client, we will be to ride through this storm, even though our financials are really bad. But we can ride through the storm. I give you guys a choice whether you're in with me or it's okay, you can find somebody more stable for your family, no problem. Then I think only one left. So the rest stick around. I said, all right, stick around, that's good. I really appreciate that. And that's where I started to change. And how am I going to build this team better? How am I going to build this team that they own the business? They're just not a worker. They become part of. How can I build an A team? Yeah. Okay, I don't want a B team, C team. I don't want that. I want an A team. How can I build an A team? There's a guy called Cameron Harrell who started the company called 1-800-You-Got-Junk in Canada. I think the business massively grow. He talked about building an A team. An A team is 80% A players, 20% B players, no star players. Yeah. He said, don't have the likes of Michael Jordan and all those players because they are going to kill your business. So, and again, the EO has helped me a lot to say, okay, how are we going to build this team? So it took me another 2 years, about 4 years from now, was the fact that and someone said, you talk about playbook. I'm not sure about playbook. Playbook is 𝙗𝙗 talk about how does your team know. Say treat your team like a basketball team or a soccer team, whatever you call it. Everybody has a position they're going to play. How are they going to play the position? So you need to give your team a playbook. Say, hey, you are the help desk guys. How you interact with your client, how you say hello, your voice, your tone, and everything. You need to give them how they should behave on the phone and help them solve the problem. They say if you don't give them, they'll just, hi, I'm Jack. What do you want? Doesn't work. Yeah. All right. So he said you need to build that. You need to give everybody a playbook so that they know what to play. Yeah. How they're going to play the game. I said, wow, that's pretty interesting. So we start to change. And one of the biggest changes was since that our books are still messy, but my role is to do two things: give the team a direction, a framework that they can work on. Internally, my role is to rebuild the finance of the business. And financial literacy was the weakest, that I didn't know anything about numbers.
Okay. So even though you worked in a bank, you didn't know anything about numbers.
And a lot of business owners doesn't know about numbers. Yeah. So that was the weakest thing. I said, okay, I need to know at least some numbers, what I'm looking at. Yeah. So again,
So your playbook for yourself was to actually, these are the things I need to know about. It's the numbers, because that's the key. That's what I'm responsible for, the direction and the numbers. Yeah. Yeah.
And who is going to give me the right number and how can help me through? So through the EO network, again, we got a couple of guys in Perth who are accountants. I said, look, this is my problem. And I humbly tell them, I said, look, I do not know all these numbers, but I want it fixed. You got to teach me how to make it fix. And when I prepare, and when I know myself, I say, I do not know, teach me. You see things change. First, your mindset is that you no longer have your ego. You prepare to listen and watch. You prepare to learn. And the people are more willing to teach you because you are more teachable. The other thing big thing was that, is my people teachable? Am I teachable? Okay, so I need to be teachable so that my people can be teachable.
So again, it's that role modeling for the people. So how did you work out that whether or not you were teachable? Obviously, because letting go of your ego, not wishing to be sexist, but I think for men is much harder as well. So how did you let go of your ego so that you were teachable?
Because the important thing is that because I'm at the bottom already. Alright, that was one thing.
Yeah, it's like I've got nowhere else to go. But,
yeah, that's And if I'm not humble myself and identify my weakness, I will not be able to recover. And I say I stop blaming other people. I stop blaming the environment. I stop blaming the client. So it's all my fault. That's where when you start to say, all right, I do not know anything, I need to learn. That's where I become teachable.
So it's that humility that Jim Collins talks about, isn't it?
A lot of humility in there. Is a little, I do not know, teach me. So when I did that, again, then I made sure that my people are teachable. But at the time, so beside my accountant trying to fix up all my books and everything and telling me the numbers that I always wanted to, because in the past, when my bookkeeper told me, oh yeah, we're making 20,000 this month. Oh, okay, good, that's fair enough. But we never understand what cash flow is. We never understand what asset is. Making 20,000, whether you got 20,000 in the cash is different story. And making money, that's okay. There's not money there, you know your debt collection is so poor and so they were really good helping me in that sense to give me the financial literacy that I'm lacking. And in the front, I said, okay, the business side of things, I need to get a framework, a roadmap, a guidebook, how to run this business. So I came across, again, a book called Traction, EOS, which is again part of the EO speakers around. And I was toying between that one and 𝙤𝙗𝙗𝙗 Scaling Up. And interestingly, I actually, at that time, I already had two, that Pietro and Matt, they were the ones who stayed behind. And I know that they were going to be the future leaders. Because I also want to build future leaders.
So how did you know they were going to be the future leaders? What was it about them specifically that you spotted?
It's because one, they went through the ranks. Secondly, when I told them the business is going to crash, and they said, I'll stick with you. Then I know that, and they are, and I realized that they actually care, and they're teachable. So I said, okay. And I remember the two of them sitting here, my admin lady sitting here, and I get two trainers in Perth. One is Jim Collins, 𝙤𝙗𝙗𝙗 trainer, one is attraction trainer. I said, I'm not going to be here, guys. I want to spend, and that was like to spend another 40,000 on this training was massive to our bottom line again. I said, I want to spend the money. Okay? They said, we can't afford. I said, don't worry, we'll spend the money. Because I know that, again, it's another turning point that if I don't spend the money, the business is not going to turn around. It's that I had to make that.
It's that sort of, you've got to make a decision, otherwise you're never going to move forward.
Or you're not quite sure too. But it's like, we're not going to burn this money and then not go anywhere. But I kind of like a bit of a leap of faith. It's like, look, I think it's one something that we need. So I said, anyway, I said, I'm not going to be here. They will pitch to you guys. You tell me. And I came back and they said, look, we want traction. I said, good. We'll spend the money. Then how we can afford it? Don't worry, we'll find the money. And we went through the traction program, which is again a full framework, scorecard and everything that we had. And that was the biggest thing, but because the beauty was that I wasn't here to influence their decision. And then they make the decision. So when they pick traction, they are accountable for themselves. They know this is going to work. It's not me. So, and then the whole thing went through. And traction was a massive change in this business. Everybody has a number. What's your KPI? What's your number every week? Go through it. So we went through this whole traction for the last 4 years. It has been the best thing because everybody's in line. I'm the visionary, so I always say, look, I'm the visionary. I'll set the vision where we're gonna hit. Like for example, I said, look, as much as a visionary, I'll tell you guys what's gonna happen in the marketplace. Like this year's budget, the last 3 years' budget. I said, guys, you set the budget. You tell me. Not the end will come and say, I want you to do $3 million. How you get that? I don't know. Just do $3 million. No. If they said that I was going to do $3 million, all right, let's look at all the client lists. So I'm more facilitated. Let's look at client lists, how many clients we can get, how much we can take all the line for how to hit that $3 million. And then they can pass the message down to the rest of the team. Hey, we need to drive this number to get this. So it's like $3 million whole year. 1 month is 250,000.
Yeah. 1
week is this amount.
Yeah.
1 hour is this amount. You break down to
break it down to the smallest.
Yeah, because if you tell the guy $3 million, they're like, oh gosh,
too big. I can't understand that. I need it to make it more tangible.
Yeah, but I say, why don't you just bill $150 an hour? You just make sure you do 3 hours of work today. Yeah. Oh, that's not that hard.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 hours. I do 3 hours. I bill 3 hours. Everybody be sure. Ultimately, it goes out to the big part of the big picture. So it's about understanding that your staff. Not everybody likes big number. To them, it's a mountain. They don't want to do it, and they're demotivated. If you give them small, achievable numbers, they're happy.
Yeah.
So it's the small numbers that makes a difference. It adds up. So because that was why I look at my team and say, all right, I need to give them small numbers. They will work. And that has been one of the brilliant things. And for me, the financial side, we clean up based on our then where traction kicks in after second year, the momentum of this business just run.
So it took 2 years, a year before it kind of started to work, and then 2 years when you really start.
Yeah, the wheel is spinning already. Yeah. It's because the foundations are right, the people is good, the people understand where we're heading, where we're going. Just like before, we doubled the business in that 2 years.
Wow.
So, and that goes to show us that a lot of businesses, we didn't give enough time. I always say you need to give yourself time. You want to implement something, you need to give yourself 6 months, not 3 months, 6 months to a year. And because I gave myself time, because a lot of people say there's no result after 6 months. No, you need to give yourself time. Be kind to yourself.
Is that what you learned then from before, when you maybe were trying to go too wide too quickly without actually bedding in what you'd already got? Yeah,
without bedding in, and also we, and I used to fall into the usual business management, business owner. You go to a conference, come back, you tell the team, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Then after that 3 weeks, you're like, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it. Then the team was like, what? You want to know? You want to hit that? Now you change your direction? So I was that before, and every time I came back, they said like, you went to the conference? Yeah, because you're changing the way we do business.
Yeah.
That was before this EOS thing.
So that consistency wasn't there either.
Yeah.
So now you're more consistent, and you allow the team to actually come up with their own goals.
Accountability. And once you got the winning formula, which what we have now is the slight tweaking now.
Yeah.
It's the tweaking at the moment, because your foundation is done, it's perfect, it's good, people know what they're doing, everybody's motivated, and one of the things that I test a team is always this, this part of the thing that I do. Sometimes I told the team, guys, this month's budget, for example, 300,000, we only do 350, for example, we only do 300,000. We got 10 more days to go. What can we do? And A team will tell you, Ando, don't worry, we'll find you the 50,000. We'll finish up some projects earlier and we'll find you the 50,000. A C team will like, shit, okay, I better go and find a job because this business is going under. The A team will find you the money.
Yeah.
So the A team, when you have a team that's good, the structure is right, the winning formula, the owner doesn't need to go and hunt for food and bring it back to the table to feed everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody becomes a hunter. When they become a hunter, they are more caring about the client's environment. They're not just going out for money.
No.
They are more aware that, okay, I'm in a client's space, this is something that's not quite right, we can improve it. We advise the client. We change the team. Because a lot of businesses, they're waiting for the owner to come back to give them work. They sit around and say, I don't know what to do. So I changed the entire team from an engineering mindset to a hunter, from a farmer to a hunter. and that's important.